Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amber Denise. If you are subscribed, then welcome back. So guys, I am finally going to announce what I'm going to start calling Sisterlock Sundays, okay? We have been vibing every Sunday for the last couple of weeks, and I think I am to a point where I can go ahead and just commit to you all because I love the vibe, I love the comments, I love the conversation. You guys are so cool. It's not that many of you out there, but those of you that are out there, I appreciate you. So yeah, I'm gonna call what we do on Sundays Sisterlock Sundays, okay? All right. Now, for this Sisterlock Sunday, I have a video that I feel like needs to be said, even though I feel like I'm kind of playing devil's advocate for saying this. But this particular video, I'm going to talk about times when you should not trust the process. Okay? There are times where you do not need to trust the process when you have Sisterlocks. Trust the process has become like the slogan of Sisterlocks, even if it's not the official slogan. It's just what we say. Trust the process. Oh, these are looking a little janky. Trust the process. Oh, and I don't know about this. Trust the process. Well, I'm here to say there are a few times where you probably shouldn't, okay? So again, I have notes, so if you see me looking down, it's just so that I can stay on track so this video is not super long. Now, the first time when I'm going to honestly say you should not trust the process and you should speak up to your loctician is if your reties are extremely painful, okay? If your install or your retie is extremely painful. Now, I'm going to say extremely on a sense of like a 10 out of a pain scale of 1 to 10. Okay, y'all know the little scale you see in the doctor's office, and they're like, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your pain level? If you're at a 10 or above from your reties or your install, you should probably not trust the process. Okay. Now, when it comes to your install, I am gonna say this: if you are tender-headed, you are gonna be uncomfortable. Okay. In my very first video that I released on my channel a couple of months ago, I talked about how install hurt. It did. It hurt me because, number one, I wasn't used to my hair being dealt with without any product. Dry hair, no product. Number two, I am very tender-headed anyway. I was that child that when my mother would braid my hair, I would like, you know how you tense up and it's like please stop, please. Like that was me, okay? And she wasn't even doing nothing. Like I remember her getting so frustrated with me, and I'm like that with my oldest daughter now too, where I'm like, I'm not even touching you, like I'm barely touching your hair, like calm down. So if you are like that, your install is gonna hurt. But what I will say to counteract that is, once you get your locks installed, you should not be in any extreme like pain for days, okay? There should not be any neck stiffness, any pain, any of that after a couple of days of you getting your locks done. If that is going on for more than, I'm going to say a couple of hours after your install, or maybe even a day, you might not want to trust that process and you might want to talk to your loctician, okay? So yeah, if your install is extremely painful, like for days, and it's like, you know, neck pain, and you know how it is when one area is in pain, our whole like body seems to be hurting. Talk to your loctician about that, okay? Reties, your reties should not hurt as much, okay? And I'm saying as much just for my tender-headed sisters out there, because you will feel them, okay? One thing I have noticed, I am 9, almost 10 months in, my reties have gotten less painful as they've gone along. Okay, and I don't even like to use the word pain when I talk about my reties anymore, because it's really not pain. It's just, you feel it. That's just like when you're getting your hair braided, you know, or you're getting cornrows put in for a style or whatever you're about to get done. You feel your stylist doing it. So I feel my loctician in my hair. I feel her tightening my hair, but it's not pain. I don't go ouch. Sometimes she'll apologize and I'm like, what you do? And she's like, oh, you didn't feel me, like had to tug on that a little bit to kind of, and I'm like, no, I didn't feel it. So as your reties go on, you should being the key word, not really feel them as much. Okay. So first thing, do not trust that process if your installation is extremely painful and if your reties are extremely painful with no sense of being not painful. Okay. Number 2, if your locks look weak. All right. Now, they have this thing, or we have this thing in the community called hand and hair syndrome, where basically you cannot keep your hands out your hair when you have sister locks. I don't care who, if you somebody that got sister locks that can keep your hands out your hair, please put that in my comment section, because I would love to meet you. Like, because I cannot, like, I literally, y'all, I can't keep my hands out of my hair. Like, I just can't. And it's something that I just enjoy the feeling of them, because they are so lightweight. The texture is different because every lock is kind of different because of the interlocking process. So I just love like doing like this. I just love it. So with that being said, that can be a good thing if you are examining your locks. So for me, I like to examine my locks every now and then just to make sure that they're giving me, giving me health, because I don't put products in my hair. I don't do oils. I might spray some rose water here and there, but that's it. I don't really do anything much to my locks. So I like to make sure that I'm checking them to make sure that they are still giving me what they need to give me. And for me, a checkup for my locks consists of me kind of like touching my root a little bit. So just like making sure that like everything still feels nice and sturdy. Root to lock ratio still feels pretty good. Like my locks don't feel like they're swelling or bunching, or not swelling because they're supposed to kind of, thicken up, but they're not bunching. Sometimes if I feel a lock that I feel like is a little like zigzaggy, a little too zigzaggy, I'll take it and I'll kind of like not tug too hard, but I'll kind of like yank it just a little, like just a little tug, just a little thin tug, nothing damaging, just to make sure that that's not like bunching or anything. So yeah, you just examine your hair to make sure they're doing okay. And I do have a lock that is on this side of my head, and I'll try to insert footage of me showing you, where it is kind of thin. I'm not happy with the root to lock ratio, and I'll show you what I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, so I am in my bathroom. I just literally took my headband off because I want to show you guys what I was talking about as far as like how my root to lock ratio kind of was like scaring me a little bit. So if you look at the size of my hair, you're gonna see that my edges are thin anyway. I had the hair around my edge line, like on this side and this side of my head, is a lot finer than the hair and like the top and the middle and the back. Which is why the locks in the middle look nice and thick and full, and the locks on the side kind of look a little thinner when you kind of get to the root. The root to lock ratio is a lot thinner. But this one here, sis right here, you can look at her and she's see-through. She is extremely see-through. She not giving me nothing, okay? Her root look like it's not even there. And this is exactly the lock that I'm going to have combined with another lock when I get my retie. I am not trusting this process. I am not waiting for hair to grow in. I am not waiting for a situation to happen where this root can be a lot thicker. And see, you can really see it when I put it against a white nail. Like, I'm not trusting that process, okay? She's getting combined. But like other hair on this edge line, don't do that. See, they're a lot more thicker. See, the root to lock is a lot thicker. It's not so see-through. So yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you are examining your locks and giving yourself those type of like checkups. Giving yourself those checkups. So yeah, back to the regularly scheduled video. Don't trust the process if your locks look weak. If they look weak, if they feel weak, okay? Ask your loctician, what's up. And this is the most important thing here, which makes common sense, but sometimes, especially when you're new to a situation or a hairstyle or an environment or a community, and you don't really know what to expect, so you think that what you're getting is okay, like, oh, it'll go away, or this might just be what it's supposed to be because it's the beginning of the journey or whatever, or the middle or the end. But if you are experiencing hair loss, don't trust this process. Okay? Stop the process. Well, I can't say stop. Well, you can stop the process because you can stop the reties and you can, I guess, combine to make them thicker. I don't know. But do not trust this process if you are losing hair. Okay? Now, I do know that there are women I've seen that will say, on this journey, you might lose a few soldiers. Okay? Meaning you might lose a couple of locks on your journey. But if you're noticing that you are losing locks, or you're noticing that your parts are, instead of them being next door neighbors, not connected, but they're very close row houses, and then all of a sudden you got one house here and one house all the way down the block, that's a problem. Don't trust the process, because that means that means you are losing hair. Something is going on if you notice your locks starting to space out over time. Especially sister locks. They are supposed to thicken up over time. They're not supposed to become, the parts start off here and then they get here, and next thing you know, your parts are starting to, they getting further and further from each other. They social distancing now. We don't want social distancing parts. Okay? So yeah, guys, those are the 3 tips that I could come up with where I would say do not trust the process. You guys know I always ask you a question to put in my comments. So the question of the week is going to be, what are some things where you had to say, I can't trust this process? What is a time, or what is a situation, or what is something that you noticed happening to your hair that made you say, oh, stop the presses. We can't go on with this. Or, hey, loctician, we need to talk about this. Or, I think I need to change locticians because I'm saying this to my loctician and they're not hearing me. So please put that in my comment section. I would love to know, and I think it will be helpful to other ladies as well. So until next time, until next Sister Lock Sunday, Amber Denise out.